of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If the clerk would call the roll, please.
Mike Wayland.
Here.
John Vajezi.
Here.
Don Wynn.
Here.
Tom Cook.
Present.
Gail Carper. Tammy Lee Brown Edwards. Dennis Moon.
Here.
Got 5 present.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Council, before you is the consent agenda, and a motion is in order.
Move to adopt as published.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the consent agenda as published. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Wayland.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Moon.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. On the public comments section of tonight's agenda, citizens wishing to address the City Council on matters germane to the agenda of the meeting will be limited to 3 minutes and are asked to be brief and concise in making their remarks. Comments submitted by mail or email will not be read aloud, but a copy will be provided to each member of the council and made a part of the minutes of the meeting. Does anyone wish to speak under the public comment section of tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to unfinished business. Item number 1, consideration to approve the memorial, honorary, and commemorative recognition policy for the city of Macomb. This was discussed at last week's committee of the whole meeting, and there's been an update to the policy, and it's attached, but final action is in order. Alderman Moon.
Yes, I'd like to ask the council to move this item back to the committee for further consideration. Since last week's meeting, I've had a little bit of time to look around at some alternatives. I believe I've discovered some that are worth the committee looking into and considering. So I don't see where there's any need to really adopt this tonight. So I would ask or put that in the form of a motion that we move this back to committee.
Thank you.
I'd second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to refer item 1 back to the Community Development Committee for further consideration. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Brown Edwards.
Aye.
Moon.
Aye.
Wayland.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. There is no other unfinished business this evening. Under new business, item number 1, consideration to approve a lease of public property located at 321 West Woodbury Street. A copy of the lease do you have that with us? Has it already been distributed? Okay. Okay. So I'd ask the Community Development Coordinator, Mr. Bannon, to come forward and give us an overview of what the proposed lease is about, and then I'd have the city's attorney come up and go over the lease, if that's okay. John?
So the property in question is at 321 West Woodbury. The property was acquired by the city in a dilapidated and blighted state and demolished a few years ago. The average cost of that is about $18 a mow, twice a month for 6 months, which is about $216 cost. There is a neighbor who would like to maintain that property for the city and have a garden on the site, so therefore there would be a financial advantage to the city for the mowing costs for the year. As well, we've had discussions on divesting ourselves of the blight reduction program properties, as all those are also cost to the city. So this particular property is a vacant site where there was a former demolition of a dilapidated property. The neighbor across the street would like to have a garden on the site. The lease, and the city attorney can elaborate, would prohibit the construction of permanent structures on the site for the duration of the lease. It's a month-to-month lease that either the city or Mr. Stovall, who is in attendance today, could get out of within a month's notice. So it's not intended to be a long-term solution, but work with a neighbor and and absolve the city of the financial responsibility of maintenance in a way that's going to add to the neighborhood. Would answer any questions about the site, or if it's about the lease, would invite the city attorney to speak, and as well the applicant or the resident, Jim Stovall, is here today.
Any questions for John regarding the former use, intended future use, short term anyway? Alderman Brown Edwards.
I do have a question for the city attorney.
Okay, so,
regarding this.
sure, nothing else for John then? Well,
Thank you.
thank you, John. Ms. Scalf? Thank you.
Madam City Attorney, could you tell me if we've made agreements like this for leasing city property to private residents?
I cannot, because I don't have the historical knowledge to be able to answer that question. I don't know who would. If anybody present has any recollection.
I want to say we have, but I'm not 100% sure.
Sorry, I looked at you.
That's okay.
So
Guess my question
unfortunately,
is
I'm not
more-
able to answer that.
Are we setting a precedence? Is this something that we've done in the future, in the past? I'm just not sure how this will look in the future.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is, given the nature of the property, it's currently a liability to the city. This would be a way to temporarily take care of the property. The proposed tenant is willing to mow, to maintain, not to impair the property from future sale. And I do believe that that would be the intention, that this property would be sold, hence the reason for the month-to-month tenancy.
So you feel that this new lease agreement would be beneficial to the city as well as to the owner of the home across the street?
Certainly to the city by the savings of cost, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else for Ms. Scalf? Would you want to go over the general provisions of the lease?
Sure.
please?
The lease, like I said, is a month-to-month tenancy, so it can be terminated by either party upon 30 days written notice. Tenant would be responsible for any necessary utilities to the property, would only be able to use the property as a garden, shall fully maintain the property, including mowing. All use would be in compliance with the current municipal code, as well as any permitted uses in the applicable zoning district. Tenant would have any liability associated with the property, would be required to carry insurance on the property with the city as an additional insured, and would surrender the property upon notice of termination.
Okay. Any questions regarding the lease? Alderman Brown Edwards.
I do have a question for the property owner.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Scalf. Mr. Stovall, would you be inclined to step up and if you could, just identify you're James Stovall, is that correct, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good to see you.
Lived in Macomb from 1987 to 2000 and came back here three years ago. I had to sneak in at night because of but I really like Macomb and I'm glad to be here.
Super.
I have a lot on North Pearl, but I believe it's sold today. Had no idea that was coming up. And it's inconvenient to go back and forth over there and carry water and stuff like that. So I think the lot across the street would be ideal for me, and I'll try to take good care of it for the city. And that's about it.
Okay, Ms. Brown Edwards.
Yes, I do have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Stovall. Do you plan on doing any changes, like, are you putting up fencing to protect the garden as far as, maybe from rabbits or, invasive things to a garden? And how are you planning to water this? Are you toting water across the street?
Yes.
Or are you just going to get a really long hose and water it down?
I'll probably just carry buckets across. I'll lay the hose in the front yard and fill my buckets. And
Thank you. And the fencing, are you planning on doing poles for beans or wrapping a fence around it to protect it from?
yes. Now, the fence thing, I have some 2-foot fencing to keep rabbits and stuff like that, and I had that in my yard on 324 West Woodbury. But if I get an okay on that, I'd put those up to keep the rabbits out. I actually didn't keep them out of the lot on Pearl, but they didn't, I don't know, haven't heard from many people that have had a lot of damage from rabbits. They all like me. They hang around pretty close.
Thank you, Mr. Stovall.
Yes.
Anything else for Mr. Moon? Alderman Moon?
I just make a motion to approve the lease of the
Second.
property located at 321 West Woodbury Street.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Mr. Stovall, I think we're good. You can have a seat, sir, if you'd like.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Wynn,
Aye.
Cook. Brown Edwards,
Aye.
Moon,
Aye.
Wayland,
Aye.
Vajezzi,
Aye.
all ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. We'll get the lease together. We'll get it executed, Mr. Stovall. Thanks for being here this evening. Item number 2, consideration to enter into a joint agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation, also known as IDOT, for modernization of various traffic signals and to adopt the funding method payment resolution. There's a memorandum in your packet from the Public Works Director, Ms. Ortman. Could you come up and go over that for us, please?
Good evening. We received notice from IDOT that they are intending to make improvements to the traffic signal controllers at the intersections listed on the memo. A few of the intersections, they're just going to be putting in new signal cabinets and controllers. There's going to be new video detection systems at Jackson and Walton Way and Jackson and Wigwam Hollow. And they're going to try to integrate Jackson and Campbell, Jackson and Johnson, and Calhoun and Campbell so that they're all kind of synced together. The IDOT estimate is $143,860. We would be liable for 10%, so their estimate is $14,386 for us, but that, of course, will be contingent upon the bid results, which the bid opening is this month, so we should know that shortly.
Okay. Thank you, Alice. Any questions for Alice regarding her memorandum or what we're proposing to do here? Alderman Brown Edwards.
Can you tell me if you have any concerns regarding this agreement?
No.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, thanks, Alice. Entertain a motion to approve the joint agreement and allow the mayor to execute the documents.
Make a motion to agree to the joint agreement with IDOT for modernization of the various traffic signals.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the agreement. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Brown Edwards,
Aye.
Moon,
Aye.
Wayland,
Aye.
Vajezzi,
Aye.
Wynn,
Aye.
Cook, all ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 3, consideration of an ordinance to amend the city fee schedule for solid waste collection fees by amending Section 24-1, subsection A for sewer rates and debt service fees by amending Section 24-2, subsection G and I, and for water rates and debt service fees by amending Section 24-3, subsection G of the municipal code. This will be first reading.
Thank you. This is an ordinance to amend a number of different sections concerning fees for services within the city, including solid waste collection, sewer, as well as water. The ordinance is in accordance with the proposed budget, which does account for increases in those fees. Section 24-1, subsection A would be amended to increase the minimum, or the charge rather, for residential solid waste collection to $20.87 per month per residential dwelling unit. We would also amend Section 24-2 concerning sewer rates. The charge per 100 cubic feet would increase for each of the next 5 years. The first such increase for fiscal year 21-22 would be to $362. The second increase for the following fiscal year would be $369, then $377, $384, and $392 for the final and fifth fiscal year, which would be fiscal year 25-26. 24-2, Section I would, increase the debt service expense for sewer for the same 5 fiscal years. The first increase would be to $4, the following year to $5, and then the following 3 years would each be $6, ending with fiscal year 25-26. Section 24-3 for water fees, the minimum charge would remain at $575, plus an additional amount for debt service fee for each of the next 5 fiscal years. The first fiscal year, 2021, would be $9, followed by $10, $10.75, $11.50, and $12.25. Those are all monthly charges, with the last fiscal year being 25-26. Water rate per 100 cubic feet would also be increasing. First increase would be this next fiscal year to $5.29, then to $5.54, $5.79, $6.04, and $6.29, with the last fiscal year being $25.26. We would also be amending the code section pertaining to meter maintenance for the 1.5-inch meter, increasing that to $14 per month, 2-inch meter to $43, 4-inch meter to $65, and the 6-inch meter to $110. And again, these are all consistent with the current proposed budget.
Thank you. That'll stand as first reading. We'll place it on for further discussion at next Monday's Committee of the Whole meeting. Item number 4, consideration of an ordinance to adopt a budget for the city of Macomb, McDonough County, Illinois for fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2021 and ending April 30th, 2022. Ms. Scalf, this will be first reading.
Thank you. The ordinance provides that the city has adopted the municipal budgeting process as set forth in the Illinois Municipal Code. The city administrator is the duly appointed budget officer and has prepared a budget for the next fiscal year, beginning May 1st, 2021 and ending April 30th, 2022. The budget has been made available for public inspection at the office of the city clerk, the City of Macomb website, and the Macomb Public Library. And there will also be publication giving notice of a public hearing to be held on April 19th, 2021. The current budgeted expenditures for fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021 and ending April 30th, 2022 is $33,789,212. The ordinance would also permit the treasurer to make any interfund transfers that are necessary under the budget and authorize the city clerk to file the budget with the county clerk.
Thank you. That'll stand as first reading. We'll have further discussion on that. Again, that'll be queued up for the agenda for next Monday's Committee of the Whole. Don't believe there's any other new business this evening. Any committee reports tonight? Hearing none. Aldermanic reports. Alderman Moon.
Yeah, just don't forget to go vote tomorrow.
Very good. Thank you. Alderman Brown Edwards.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and WRC CAA will be having a Hands Around the Courthouse event on Friday at 11. I imagine they're not going to be really holding hands, but it'll be in social distancing, and that information is on their Facebook page and their website. It is also Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and the annual Take Back the Night will be occurring next Thursday evening, and it's going to start in the Sherman Circle Drive and go end at Chandler Park. And lastly, it is Pride Month, and WIU is hosting Pride Month, a lot of events on their LGBTQA Resource Center website. And I do want to speak to, also there's going to be the clothing line project at Western as well. That'll be next Monday, and that is also in support of Sexual Assault Month. I am a victim of sexual assault as well as domestic abuse, and so these projects are one of the first things that I did when I came to Macomb, and I wholly support these events, and I will be supporting them as well as supporting them in person and sharing them on my social media platforms. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman, Cook.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Nguyen.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Vajezi.
Just piggybacking off of what Alderman Tammy Lee Brown Edwards had mentioned, National Child Abuse Month, this coming Friday, WRC is having their Hands Around the Courthouse. They are asking that everybody wear blue because blue is the color for awareness. Another thing, as you start seeing the nicer weather hit around our area, please remember there are a lot of tractors starting to go out to plow fields. So please be aware and slow down as you're driving around the country roads to be aware of the tractors in the area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Whalen.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Bannon? Ms. Scalf?
No report, but I do think we need to go back to an agenda item,
Okay.
if we could. Number 2, under new business, I don't think the motion included adopting the resolution. And I just want to make sure we have authority to execute the agreement.
Okay.
Can I amend my motion to adopt the resolution in addition to enter into a joint agreement with the IDOT?
Or we can have a new motion. Probably easier to do a new motion, would you think?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to give us the suggested verbiage of the motion then?
I think what you said is fine. I just
Okay.
don't think we need to amend the existing, just
Okay.
adopting the resolution.
Adopt in to add in the agreement?
No, the resolution.
The funding resolution. Okay.
All good? Okay. And do we have a second?
And then amended second.
And Alderman Nguyen seconds. Already, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Moon,
Aye.
Wayland,
Aye.
Bajesi,
Aye.
Wynn,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Brown Edwards. Aye. All ayes.
Motion carried, thank you. All righty. Mr. Coker, anything? No report. All righty. Madam Clerk?
I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you. I'd take just a few minutes and give you some information relative to COVID-19 update. This information was shared broadly with partners in the community from the McDonough County Health Department earlier today. Excuse me. Their report today goes back and captures new cases since last Thursday. They're reporting an additional 21 cases in the county. That would make the total confirmed case count of 2,454, and they're currently monitoring 50 active cases in the county. So with that in mind, I'd like to encourage everyone. They also are, the health department is also indicating that they are opting to start vaccinating anyone over the age of 18 starting today at any of their clinics. So that, none of the other predicates are necessary. So as long as you're 18 years old and you live or work in McDonough County, you're eligible to be vaccinated. And they are going, and I'm going to hold this up, kind of an old school, reminds me of Romper Room. But so if I could get Mr. Nevy to zoom in here. There will be a mass vaccination clinic held by the McDonough County Health Department partnering with the McDonough District Hospital this Saturday, the 10th, at the former Farm King location located at 2700 East Jackson Street. Not the new store. You're welcome to shop there, but please don't go there for your vaccine. It'll be at the old store located just east of the Spooner Outreach Center, between the Spooner Outreach Center and the car dealerships. I think it's still well signed. But that'll be taking place this Saturday, the 10th, and you have to sign up. So go to getmycovidshot.com, or the number listed here is 1-833-665-4829. So that's 1-833-665-4829, and that's the call center Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'd encourage everyone, thank you, Mr. Nevy, to get signed up, open to the public. They have 500 doses available, so we hope to be able to get all of those doses used this Saturday. So share with your friends. The sooner everyone gets vaccinated, the more likely we are to be relieved of any mitigation efforts. So appreciate the collaboration between the McDonough District Hospital and our friends at the Health Department. So if you need an update on that, that's available on the city's all social media platforms for the city, as well as the city's website. So, or you can contact the Health Department. We're looking forward to having that occur this Saturday here at the former Farm King Center. Have to be registered to take part. Don't believe there's any more business to come before you this evening. We'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.